Straight ahead on 12 News, a weekend to be green, where you may find a pot of gold in the northwest suburbs. Then a modern-day sacrifice for Lent.
It's very beneficial. I think it's very beautiful.
What one Robbinsdale family is giving up in order to reconnect. But first, a state investigation into accusations of neglect involving a crystal boy. 12 News starts right now. The Department of Education is investigating a New Hope school for possible neglect of a boy with special needs.
The boy's mother says school officials did not keep a close eye on her son, and he ended up in the hospital. Sonia Goins talked with the Crystal family and has more on the investigation.
Marlo has ADHD. He has developmental delays. He also has autism.
Look into the eyes of 11-year-old Marlo Andrew, and you see a happy kid. Although he's nonverbal, he has his own way of expressing himself. He likes to draw and play with his family. But in early February, Marlo's mom says her son's world changed.
He came home with styrofoam in his diaper, and I was changing him. And I just kept seeing white specks.
Yvette says her son put something in his mouth that he shouldn't have.
He needs to be washed at all times.
Yvette says that didn't happen at North Education Center in New Hope, the school Marlo attends.
The styrofoam came from the beanbag that was in the classroom.
She had to take Marlo to HCMC.
They actually said that they wanted to admit him into ICU to cleanse out his system.
Doctors found styrofoam and other non-food items in his digestive tract.
A standard-sized bolt.
That bolt is the white circle you see on the x-ray.
Some type of black Velcro, rubber, plastic.
I was livid. I was appalled.
Dominic Dupree is Marlo's aunt and personal care attendant.
I took pictures of the x-rays, and just to see the x-rays, to see just how compacted and his intestines were in his system. I mean, it was literally up to his lungs.
Marlo was in intensive care for more than 2 days.
The doctor said if it had been in his system any longer, he could have passed away.
The incident led to an investigation by the Minnesota Department of Education. The department sent this letter to Marlo's family saying he may have been neglected by a school employee.
Some people need to get some reprimands in their files. Some people at the school need to be fired outright.
His family now has a message for other parents with special needs children.
I just want it to be people to be more aware of the school system. I mean, pay close attention to your child. You know, if you have to visit more, if you have a gut feeling something's going on, make sure you let the school know that you're pretty much involved.
Now, Marlo's family says he won't be going back to that school. Right now, he's being taught at home by a teacher. I also talked with officials at the school. They say they cannot comment because of privacy reasons. Now, Alex and Mike, they did tell me the district takes all possible steps to ensure special needs children are closely supervised.
All right. Well, thank you, Sonia. Brooklyn Center man is hospitalized with serious injuries after being struck by a hit-and-run driver. It happened early Friday morning in Columbia Heights. The Anoka County Sheriff's Office says the victim was trying to cross Central Avenue when he was hit. Authorities are looking for a white or silver passenger car. And the victim's injuries, though, are not believed to be life-threatening.
Brooklyn Park Police are investigating a bold theft that caused a big headache for a West Metro landscape company. Someone was able to swipe a Bobcat and a plow similar to the one you see here. The equipment belonged to Maple Crest Landscape and was valued at $50,000. The theft took place sometime between Saturday, March 9th and Tuesday, March 12th at a work site in the 7100 block of Northland Terrace. Anyone with information is urged to contact Brooklyn Park Police. For years, there has been debate about whether we should get rid of the penny.
Last month, President Obama fueled discussion when he suggested it might be time to stop making the penny. Coin collectors, though, aren't eager to see the Lincoln 1 cent disappear. More than 1,200 coin enthusiasts are expected to visit the Northwest Coin Show in Brooklyn Center this weekend. And for many collectors, the penny is how they got started with the hobby. So it's part nostalgia, but it's also a consumer concern.
Trouble is, they're going to round off everything to the highest. That's why there's some negative towards it, because all the vendors, our merchants, will start rounding up. So we, the little guy, might suffer. The coin show continues in Brooklyn Center through Sunday at the Earl Brown Heritage Center.
Well, people of faith still give up meat or even chocolate for Lent, but there's a new trend that's gaining popularity.
And that's right, more people are giving up Facebook and social media for the 40-day season. Reporter Shannon Slatton shows us what one Robbinsdale family is learning from their experience.
Oh, funny, look at.
Okay.
Look at that.
Quiet moments like this
Is that a teapot?
are few and far between in the Lang house.
Should we read?
Kristen Lang has 4 children under 6 years old.
The snow melted. The ground warmed.
She wanted to create more opportunities like this.
I just thought it would be really good to get back to a sense of family and just kind of a more quiet pace throughout the day.
So Kristen decided to give up Facebook for Lent.
I think I've given it up once or twice before, but I usually end up giving in.
This time she's had success in staying away from the newsfeed.
I've done the dishes or cleaned the house, things that I should do.
And perhaps more importantly, she's questioned just why she wants to sign in.
And it really made me sit and reflect on like what my motives are when I go on Facebook.
This idea of Lent is to shed a luxury. Facebook, for most of us, is a luxury.
Carol Brees from the University of St. Thomas studies how social media influences relationships.
To be more mindful of why you're using it and how you're using it often comes with a break from that use. And that can be really hard.
In fact, she challenges students to give up social media.
When they took 4 days off of technology, even though they didn't want to, but we asked them to, they slept more, they studied more, they talked to people.
So that when people sign back in,
the result usually is that we're more mindful of how we're using it and why we're using it. And that's a great thing.
It's a Lenten lesson learned that Kristen already appreciates.
It's very quiet in a really good way because it allows you time to reflect on yourself, to reflect on your faith, or just the things that are happening in your life at the moment.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
It's worth pointing out research has shown there is an upside to Facebook. It's connected people to extended family and friends at a level that they haven't been connected before. And that's all good and dandy until they start posting politics, right? That you don't agree with.
But disconnecting to reconnect. It's
Exactly.
interesting.
Still ahead, bringing out the Irish in all of us.
Some ways to celebrate green coming up next. Then later in sports, Park Center and Osseo get set for their section championship battle in boys basketball.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. The spotlight is on community theater this weekend at North Hennepin Community College. It's the Minnesota Association of Community Theaters Festival. 9 different productions will set up, perform their shows, and break down, and it's all timed and judged. Plays are held tonight and 2 more sessions on Saturday. The cost is $10 per session. You'll see as many as 3 plays, and you'll get to hear how they're critiqued. 'Tis the weekend to eat, drink, and be Irish.
Yeah, and if you're lucky this St. Patrick's Day, you'll find the right place to get a taste of Ireland right here in the Northwest Metro. What better way to celebrate St. Paddy's Day than to spend it with a true Irishman?
We know how to run an Irish party. We know what we know what it entails back home, and we know how special the day is.
The staff at Claddagh Irish Pub promises an entire weekend packed with Irish music, food, and special guests.
We're going to just have leprechauns. We got a couple of Irish wolfhounds coming. So if anyone's familiar with the Irish wolfhound, they're a big dog, and you get to pet the Irish wolfhound. So it's going to be a good fun.
And if you're looking to throw your own party at home, stop into Haskell's in Plymouth for tips on how to stock the fridge.
We carry about a dozen imported Irish beers and a couple domestic Irish beers.
Saturday from 3 to 7, you can sample Haskell's supply to see how dark you want to go.
As you step up, they get to be more red, more amber colored, to where they get really dark and almost black in colors.
And even if you don't walk out with a case, at least you'll be a little smarter about what you order when you pop into an Irish pub. Well, finally, you can't drink on an empty stomach. That's why Great Harvest Bread Company in Maple Grove is rolling out specialty breads for the holiday, like their Reuben stuffed rye.
Pastrami, Swiss, sauerkraut, mustard, and our caraway rye. It's gonna be awesome.
Other options include a Gouda and stout bread or an Irish soda bread. To tame your sweet tooth, try their shamrock-shaped cookies.
We sold out yesterday, so that's why you saw us going crazy on production this morning. We're making a bunch more, so we didn't expect it.
Looks pretty good, though, doesn't it? And the festivities don't stop there.
Coming up, we are going to show you where you can check out this lean green dancing machine. But first in sports, Hopkins and Osseo battle for a spot in the state final in girls basketball. John Jacobson has the highlights up next.
John Jacobson with sports, and of course we are in the middle of the girls basketball tournament, and you know, you lose, you go home, but it was a pretty good run.
Yeah, it's a good run for Osseo. They still have one more game left. I think it's playing the third place game, but Hopkins again showing they are the team to beat. Hopkins beat Osseo in the state Class 4A girls basketball title game last season. After a quarterfinal round wins, the Royals and Orioles were matched up in the state semifinals in Minneapolis. Early in the game, a Hopkins double team forces an Osseo turnover. And Nia Holly takes this one all the way, hits the runner in the lane, giving the Royals an 8-2 lead. The Orioles, though, come back. Janae Morton, great pass to a wide-open Io Port in the paint, and the Orioles are within 2 points. Nice transition hoop here for the Orioles. Morton to Ari Jones to Phyllis Webb for the layup. Webb nets 13 points in the game. And then Jones knocks down a three-pointer to give Osseo a 21-20 lead with 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. But the Royals close the half on an 11-4 run. Aaron O'Toole with the hook shot of the lane for 2 over 12 first half points. Hopkins is up 6 at the break. And they turn up the heat in the second half. The steal here, McCalla Shackelford to Nia Coffey for 2. Hopkins is up by 17. Then it's Taylor Anderson to Coffey on the break, and the All-State senior finishes with a layup plus a foul. Big second half, it's Hopkins advancing to the state 4A title game against Bloomington Kennedy with a 73-50 win.
When we get our space and just run our offense correctly, we get good looks, and just when we just spread the floor, it opens so many more options for us, so it really helped us in the long run.
In Class A, Brooklyn Park's Maranatha Christian Academy came into the tournament as the two-time defending state champion. Mustangs facing Ada-Borup in the quarterfinals. Monica Vegas drives and scores as Ada-Borup takes the early lead. Lexi Lee kicks it out to Madison Lee. She cans a three-pointer for the Mustangs. And China Stoll gets the steal and finds Lexi Lee for the drive and hoop for MCA. Final seconds of the first half. Hannah Poehler hits the jumper for Ada-Borup, and they've got a 37-27 halftime lead. Second half, the Mustangs spread the floor with a nice fast break. Elena Jarnot finishes here. Vega tries hard, gets the basket and the foul for the Cougars. They're their better team this day. Shayna Stevenson strokes a three for a 59-45 lead. Maranatha never really cuts into the lead. Ada-Borup eliminates the Mustangs 70-53. In boys basketball, Park Center and Osseo will tangle for a third time Friday night with a section championship on the line. Park Center is the top seed in Section 5-4A. The Pirates advanced to the title game with a hard-fought 71-62 victory over Cooper in the semifinals. They beat Osseo at home earlier in the season before the Orioles took the rematch. The Pirates know they'll have to play well and want to start strong.
I guess we'd say just everyone stick hard and play with effort. We'd never really take the situation so hard until we get hit first. So come out aggressive and strong. We always start out sluggish and slow.
The Pirates' last trip to state came in 1997, and they've only been in the tournament twice. It's an exciting program, opportunity for the PC program.
Man, I know both teams are preparing hard. I know we're preparing hard. I know they're preparing hard. I'm just ready to come out and have a good contest with them.
Meanwhile, defending state champion Osseo had to survive a big scare to return to the section title game. The Orioles trailed underdog Centennial with until the final minute of the game before pulling out a 64-61 win in the semifinals. While any win is a good win at playoff time, the Orioles know it was not their best showing.
You know, we didn't start playing until the last 5 minutes of the game. I felt like, you know, we didn't represent Osseo, we didn't represent our community, our fans, our parents at all. We didn't have heart, you know, so we gave them every chance that they wanted to win. And the fact that we still could pull it out just shows what we're capable of.
Osseo had won 5 of the last 6 Northwest Suburban Conference titles until Park Center edged them by 1 game this season. Osseo still eager to prove that they're the best team in District 279.
You know, it's 1-1 right now, so we want to make sure, you know, everybody around here knows that, you know, the first time was just a fluke and that we're going to be the better team come Friday.
All right, there you go. The Orioles and Pirates tip it off at 7 o'clock Friday night at Rogers High School. You can watch the game here on Channel 12 Saturday morning at 9 and also at 11 p.m. or Sunday night at 8:30. You know, that was going to be a great game, packed house tonight up at Rogers High School.
Oh, so much fun to watch.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, we are celebrating St. Paddy's Day by getting jiggy with it, and our Delane Cleveland has a front row seat.
Yeah, I sure do. I'm live at the Lookout Bar and Grill, and coming up, we'll show you how they're celebrating St. Patrick's Day this weekend.
Finally, a 2008 Maple Grove High School alum is proving he can put his money where his mouth is with 8 straight appearances on Jeopardy!
Hi, Twin Cities. I'm Drew Horwood from Minneapolis. If my opponents are expecting Minnesota nice, they've got another thing coming.
23-year-old Drew Horwood has already racked up more than $138,000 on the game show, and if he wins tonight, he will be one of the show's most successful players. The news comes as no surprise to Horwood's first-grade teacher, Ann Swanson, at Maple Grove's Fernbrook Elementary. Swanson remembers Horwood as a smart, inquisitive 7-year-old who loved reading and had a good mind for math and strategy.
There's just some kids you know from day one that he's going to be somebody someday, let alone a little Jeopardy star.
And Horwood is a University of Minnesota grad. He currently works for Cargill as a systems analyst. Alex Trebek called him the Energizer Bunny this week, so we'll see if he makes it Friday night.
Good luck to him,
Before we go, we want to indulge in one last Irish festivity.
Our honorary Irishman, Delane Cleveland, is live at the Lookout Bar and Grill, where they will soon kick off a weekend of fun. Delane?
Yeah, Mike and Alex, I'm an honorary Irishman, not dressed that way though, but I'm Irish at heart this weekend. Right now, the Rican Nua Irish Dancers, Maple Grove Zone, have been performing for about a half an hour here at the Lookout Bar and Grill. Later on tonight, they'll be followed by the High and Mighty Band. There'll be live music here all weekend long and plenty of green beer and, of course, corned beef and cabbage, because really, how can you celebrate St. Patrick's Day without corned beef and cabbage? So I will now step away here and leave everyone with a little bit of Irish jig to end their weekend. Here you go.